What is going on? Ken the Crypto here. Ken Lamis. That's my full name. In this video, I'm going to be interviewing a CEO and the founder of DFS Mafia, where fantasy sports meet crypto. Now, this is the first CEO interview that I'm doing on this channel, and I'm going to be doing a lot more. But Dan here, he's fully doxed. We've vetted this project. They have a long-term vision, and they're building a platform that is going to be released soon, the beta version, in about 62 days from now as of making this video. You could do your own research in this project. We are listing them on the ALTBASE app. We are proud to introduce them to the ALTBASE ecosystem, and I'm very excited for what's to come with this project. They have investors, they have venture capitalists, and they're doing a lot of things now, despite the market. Despite any market condition, they are still building. I highly respect that. With that said, I'm going to let Dan do the talking, and from there, you can do your own due diligence with DFS Mafia. I think it's a great project. But with that said, do your own research and enjoy the video. So, yeah, guys, I am here with Dan Westphal, the CEO and founder of DFS Mafia. What's going on, Dan? How are you?
Good, good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. 7 a.m. in the morning. I usually don't make videos this early.
Well, I appreciate it. Being across the country from you, a little bit of a time gap there.
Where are you from?
I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, nice. So all the way. Oh, so I'm in west, and you're all the way east.
Oh yeah,
Cool. So yeah, you started this project, and it's going pretty well right now. And I remember back in the day when we started our token as well. I know you're you're in that no sleep mode right now, all work. So I know how that feels. Why don't you go ahead and tell us kind of how you guys started? You know, what is
yeah,
DFS, and you know, like how just tell us like the beginning.
yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, myself, I've run multiple businesses, startups. I've always just been. I was kind of started this whole process for me was I've been a DFS fantasy sports player for about 10 years, six-figure earner off of like FanDuel. Won some pretty big contests off of them, and been doing that for about 10 years. It's always a passion of mine. It's exciting. You get the ups and downs, the roller coaster emotions. And then I got back into crypto in early 2017, so about 5 years ago. Got to experience that first major, bull run wave of Bitcoin. That's where I made my first good money in the crypto space and got that addiction from crypto. And so, I started investing in the altcoins and stuff like that after the dip in early 2018. And, when the pump happened back in March of 2021, I started thinking like I want to launch my own token, but I didn't
Mm,
want to just be a meme coin. I didn't want to just throw something out there, hope it catches fire. I wanted to have a real utility behind it, and I wanted to have something that I really could get a passion behind. So I
awesome.
started really thinking about what I wanted to do, and time that aha moment. Well, I was driving home from work one night, and all of a sudden it just hit me. I was like, I think I was actually probably setting up a FanDuel lineup at that point, and it just hit me. I was like, crypto, fantasy sports. I called a buddy of mine that is really big into crypto, and I told him about my idea, and he goes, "Dude, this is one of your $1 million ideas or $1 billion ideas that you got to start running with." So I started doing my research. I actually have been working on this since April of last year, strategically planning, doing my research, make sure that it wasn't already a saturated market. I didn't know of any, but just started looking around, and I didn't see anybody that, there's little things, and I've seen people try to dabble into it, but nothing of, the magnitude of what we're doing. So once I realized that this wasn't a saturated market, that there wasn't a ton of competitors, I went all in on it and really started planning it out. And yeah, I mean, we took off. Just all the stars aligned perfectly. We launched back December 15th of 2021. Hit a 25 million market cap within the first 30 days, and the only thing that
Nice.
killed our hype was that big market dip, from the Ukrainian Russian situation. So,
Yeah.
uh, but
So
yeah, I mean
would you say it was
that's
like would you say it was like a kind of a wrong timing at that time, this around December?
it was actually I initially was going to first, and like a week before that, the market took a pretty big tank, and I was like, all right, let's postpone the launch 2 weeks just to feel out the market and try to get a better launch time. I didn't want to just throw it out there and in the worst of conditions, but we postponed it 2 weeks. March, or December 15th, we launched, and it really took off. People started to notice us. We've formed some pretty big partnerships with like Forrest Griffin, NFL player Demarius Randall.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
and they're
awesome.
not just and they're not just people that are coming in like doing your cameos and things like that. I mean, they're fully invested. I know Demarius Randall's been amazing. He pops into our telegrams and our AMAs all the time, and
Love that.
invested himself. So it's been amazing.
No, that's really good that these athletes are actually sorry, there's a little bit of lag. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say that no, it's great that these athletes are actually invested in your project rather than you just paying them to for them to quickly promote you and then they don't, they dump the tokens. I know I've been in that situation where I paid athletes and they didn't really care about my project and then they just dumped it. But I have some few athletes on our side that they're actually passionate, so that's very important as well on your side. Let's kind of backtrack.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I know you started this project. Yeah, so, I know you started this project with you like planned it out like a couple months before. Was there a time where you were like, you know what, this is enough planning, I'm just gonna start it. I'm gonna do it. And what was that moment that you were like, I'm
really
gonna go for it?
November was like when everything was lining up. I was like, I have the game plan. I know what I want to do. The only thing I didn't have, which I'll be honest with you, was just I didn't have enough of a team behind me which it ended up happening though. Like I'll get into that in a second, but I didn't have enough of a team behind me with the right expertise where we could have handled the insane growth right off the bat. But this is where I talk about like all the stars aligning. A couple investors that are actually mutual friends of a former business partner of mine. They invested in the coin. They're brothers. They're actually my COO and CMO, and they reached out to me, started talking, and just they started telling me about what their background is and what they do. And it was just like I said, the stars aligned. I brought them into the team or added them to the team that I already had, and they've been phenomenal. Chris, he's my COO, and he's we've said it in our AMAs before that I don't think I've ever found anybody that hustles and works as hard as I do, and I think I found him. That it's been the perfect partnership there. But no, I mean I think it was just really a matter of once everything planned out, it was like, all right, it's go time, let's do it.
Yeah, no. So I was asking your COO, where did you find him?
Yeah, he actually came from the community. He was I think a day 2 investor. Invested first and then reached out. We got to talking and just realized his strengths behind what he does, and he's he's been instrumental to what we've been doing. And then, like I said, is actually his brother Matt is our CMO. They're both in marketing, which was huge for us. But they, the one brother said, "Hey, you got to look into this crypto." They both invested in. We got to talking, and it's worked out great. Sentiment. We brought in a bunch of other people. We brought in the owner of ImpactFilms.com. He's a former sports agent, Svag Sagarian. He's been huge in bringing in a bunch of partnerships for us, and basically got a Rolodex of contacts. That's been huge for us as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's funny that you say that because my COO came from my community as well, and our sports agent came from our community as well. So it's funny. It's like you started this journey as a one-man army, and then now you're getting people from your community, which is honestly that's awesome, and I think that's super important because these guys are gonna be they work hard, they're loyal, and they're very passionate in what you guys are all doing.
Absolutely. So, I mean that's the biggest thing about it is that we have really built a solid foundation, not only of just our team and our investors, and that's what it's been so big for us is that we have true believers and true people that want this project to succeed. And we built a solid foundation of partnerships too, where we're not just bringing in anybody to try to pump this up. We want people that like our athlete partnerships are multi-year partnerships. They're not come in for a month or two, do some promotions, and they can cash out tokens or something. It's hey, this is a multi-year, multi-level partnership, and I mean, we've rejected NFL players that had no real passion behind us. They just
Hmm.
were in it for the money. So we're all about making sure that we're bringing the right people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you guys are building, and you're still going strong despite market conditions. I rarely see smaller cap projects nowadays, uh, build or let alone just connect with their community. It's like the coins that started around the same time we did, around Q2 of 2021. Most of those projects aren't even around anymore because
You know,
they either they either rugged or they died. I don't see their founders talking anymore, and that's very respectable that you guys are hustling right now. And I think
yeah,
that in the future, when the bull market happens, which it will, I think the market will definitely catch on to your project. And
yeah. And
kind of,
I think
yeah, go
that
ahead.
the one thing that I think has been instrumental for us too is that I'm always, I mean, Chris does too, Matt is as well, but I mean, you go into our Telegram and our talk to our community, I'm always involved. I'm always active. There's not many CEOs or founders that are constantly interacting with their own community. Like, there's no point where I take a step back. I know our investors are always like, "When do you sleep?" I'm like, I get about an hour or two a night. But I mean, that's the thing is building that trust. We're always, being transparent with our community, and just we keep that hype going, that excitement going. I mean, we drop a lot of bombs in the process of awesome news, but at the same time, just being interactive and having fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of going back to your project. So, where did you guys launch?
We launched on PancakeSwap through. We did a pink sale. Launched through PancakeSwap. Did a fair launch, and
And so you guys didn't raise any money at all? No
nope,
pre-sale or anything? Awesome.
nope. Which that's the other crazy thing is we had they're a silent investor, we'll put it that way, but we had a really large investment firm or a
Mm.
company reach out to us after they made some very, very large buys first, which got our attention. But they're like, look, we like what you're doing. We'd like to talk. And I mean, we had a venture capitalist firm reach out offering to give us 75,000 in seed funding to launch our platform and stuff. This company came in and they gave us a multi six figure investment. It's not a loan. We're a zero debt company, and they're like, look, we want to go hand in hand. They brought in a branding company for us. They brought in a merchandising company for us, which those are about to really come to fruition. But we're a zero debt company, and our fantasy sports platform's under development. We've got a timeline laid out now. We know when our beta
Okay.
testing should be ready, and it's all paid for.
I love that you guys didn't, so you guys didn't offer equity at all to these VCs then.
No,
Like
no, we don't have
Mhm.
as far as the company. No, we're giving a small percentage of
Yeah.
the platform revenue to them.
Mhm.
But we're full owners of the company. It's not
I love that.
we didn't give up ownership of the company at all.
Cool, cool. And then let's talk about your platform now. You guys are building it. Kind of walk us through it. Why would somebody use it and who would use it?
Yeah. So we're building a fantasy sports platform with crypto integration where
Mhm.
it's going to have our tokens, the native token of the ecosystem. The biggest things is that it's still going to appeal to the normal DFS space, the people who have no interest in crypto, have no interest in doing anything like that, where it's still going to have the tournaments in straight fiat. And then
Mhm.
we're also going to have tournaments where you can use your tokens in DFSM to enter contests. The payouts are, in DFSM tokens. The big thing about it is we're going to have, I mean, the real big thing about the platform, not only to have fun with it and win money, was it is going to be the engine to stir up the burning of tokens and the buybacks. So a percentage of every single contest, all the profits we get from every contest. Just for example, like FanDuel, if you have $1.1 million in entrance fees, they'll have $1 million prize pool. They make 100 grand off that contest. So
Right.
that's our philosophy: is we're going to take a percentage of every single contest's profits, and then once a week, once a month, whatever, do a massive buyback and burn. So we reduce the supply of the tokens at the same time. We're going to have our own sports themed NFT marketplace, which is another reason why we brought in athletes. We can do NFTs of those specific athletes, which is something we offer to our athletes as well. But yeah, it's going to be our own NFT marketplace. It's not an interface of OpenSea or anything like that. So we'll collect all the fees from our marketplace. Swap feature, staking. that was kind of one of the things that really started my whole idea was, I play a lot of FanDuel and DraftKings, and
Right.
in between contests, and I'm so busy. I work like 100 hours a week plus every single week, and it's like sometimes I don't have time to sit down and figure out a lineup or anything. So your money's just sitting there in your account. Well, I thought, well, why not have a way to earn a little bit of interest on your money in between contests?
Mm-hmm.
So we're introducing the staking feature, and yeah, so it's going to be our initial launch. We'll have a probably 4 to 6 different sports. It's going to be prop bets with a tournament style. So, not going to be where only the people who like FanDuel has, you have lineup optimizers and you have to go through the salaries and figure out how to create a team. It's more of just prop bets of, James Harden over under 30 points tonight, but you're going to have to pick like 10 different props and they have points assigned to them based on over under, and your tournament will decide where you place, and then you can take a cash out based on what your position is.
Okay. And by the way, just to be fully transparent, I don't know anything about sports betting, but I know that the market on it is growing. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of athletes are just entering crypto like crazy. Like they don't even know what they're in. Most of them don't even know what they're investing in. But there's definitely going to be a sub market for that in the future. Um, and I feel like your platform is going to house that for them. Um, I think there's a lot of things that you could do with this platform. What's your guys' like roadmap? I guess when do you guys think you're gonna be finished when it comes to the
So
platform?
when we initially launched our roadmap, and it's still on there right now, our roadmap had the platform launch from Q3. Our plan was like, look, if everything goes as planned, we can have the platform done and launch by like football and basketball season, so that
Mm-hmm.
by August, September at the latest, we're ready to go. But now, just with the investment we got from this company, the company that we have building the platform, which, by the way, the company is building the platform has been around for over 20 years. They've built over
Love that.
20,000 apps, both
And it's a
on the
web app,
fantasy
right?
sports side. What's that?
It's a web app, so
Yeah, it's a
it's a
web app.
browser.
It'll be
Okay.
browser based. We'll
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll come out with the app later on, but like me personally, when I play fantasy sports, I don't use an app. I just go through the web browser
Yeah.
because then I can toggle back and forth between like lineup optimizers. So it's a little bit easier. Um, yeah, but no, we're planning on early to mid Q3, and right now we've got a guaranteed timeline from this company where our beta testing will be ready probably around June 1st, if not sooner, and then launch probably about a month later, like full launch to the public. So we're looking at early July as the official launch.
Oh, very cool. And I think that's enough time for the market to recover. And
Yep.
speaking of the market, are you guys concerned at all with the market conditions and how you guys are building?
No, I mean, obviously it was unfortunate to have, that market cap go up to 25 mil so quickly and have that hype behind it. And then, the market really take a tank on that. But I'm not concerned at all. I think that, it's to be expected at times. You're going to have these dips, but if you look at the overall trend of, crypto, and, I watch a lot of the news that keeps coming out, different adoptions and things that are going on. It's a matter of time before the next bull run, where I really think the next massive bull run will be that mass adoption run where just it's become fully accepted by everybody. And I think that's where we're heading, and it doesn't concern me where the market's at right now.
Yeah, I love that mindset. And I know a lot of people, investors, they're because a lot of people that bought crypto probably like the past 6-12 months, everyone got wrecked because of they sort of bought at the all-time high, unfortunately. But I think people need to see the bigger picture of what other projects are building, and a lot of the projects that are billion-dollar market cap now, for the first 3 years, 4 years, their charts were completely dead, but they kept building
Yep.
during this time. They kept growing the community. They kept along with the roadmap, and I think that your project is within that category. Um, and as long as you guys keep that up, I think you guys are gonna kill it with your platform. And I've seen, um, it's such a occurring pattern, especially if you've been in crypto because I've been in crypto since 2017. So
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time till the market catches up to what you guys are doing. So I love that. And then, is there anything? else that you want to say about your project? Like, do you have any other special news you want to bring them? Maybe an exchange listing or anything?
I mean, I'll tell you this. So obviously, due to NDAs and things,
Yeah,
we've actually got approvals from, I want to say, 6 or 7 major exchanges that want to bring us on.
yeah,
It's just a matter of, we're not just trying to throw our money, in to make big news, but we're being strategic about it. So we've got
I
approvals
love that.
to get onto some pretty major exchanges that have already done their due diligence on us. They said, look, we want to have you on here. We'd be honored to have you. It's just a matter of us pulling the trigger on them. And with the market right now, I mean, being in crypto since 2017 as well, I know if you throw out, 50 grand or something onto a major exchange at the wrong time, you'll get probably a little bit of a pump from it, but
Yeah,
it'll die off if the market's bad. So
right.
we're waiting until we get a little bit closer to the platform launch to really ramp it up. I mean, if the market continues going the way it is the last couple of days, it might come sooner. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, we've got 6 major exchanges that have already approved us.
That's awesome. I bet your community is very, very excited about that.
I
I
keep
know a
teasing
lot of,
at it.
yeah, I know a lot of communities and investors are always like, "When's the next exchange? When's the next exchange?" And it's like
Oh yeah,
you always have to make you always have to make it clear that you're being strategic about it, especially during these times. Um, because I mean, a lot of people I've seen a lot of coins get listed in exchange. They don't. I mean, if that's what investors are looking for, which is a pump, it happens very quick and then it dies off, especially in a market like this.
yeah, exactly. But I
Now,
mean, one other thing I'll throw out there too is what we have, which I actually started just working on it with another project, but we have metaverse applications that I had started to work on prior to this conversation, and then again, stars aligned. But we've got a pretty cool idea to implement our DFS platform into the metaverse.
very cool, very cool. And then there's a couple more questions. And this is kind of off topic about what you do, but I guess what's your background as far as because I know you know the market when it comes to this platform that you're building because you've been doing it for years. But what other things that you do did you do before this project?
Yeah, I mean, so up until last year, I was actually I worked for Geico as an insurance agent for
Mhm.
10 years. Was in sales, one of the best in the company. Um, just wasn't a passion, man. Like I'm not a salesperson. I'm more of a people person, interactive with people, build that rapport. So it just wasn't something that interests me anymore. I actually currently run a medical courier and distribution company.
Nice.
So I just have that leadership, part of it where, I'm managing 30, 40 people at any given time. Um, I've done multiple startups. I've owned driving ranges. I've even done the vending companies, stuff like that. But I've always been I've always been a business person. I went to school for business. Um, it's just something where I'm not a person for the corporate America. I'm a person of, owning your own company, living on
Hmm.
your own terms. So that's always been my focus.
Love that. And then you just decided to just stick those skills on to crypto.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what's really helped me is being in crypto for the last 5 years. And I mean, as much as you think you know about crypto, it's amazing how much more you can learn in such a short period of time. Like, the first four
Especially
years
as
I
the
learned.
founder too.
Oh
There's
yeah.
just
I
so
mean,
much
that's
good
what I was
stuff.
gonna say. It's like in the first 4 years of being in crypto, I learned so much, and like, I could see my knowledge over to the average person of like what they know about crypto compared to what I do, and it's like
Right.
speaking a foreign language to people. But
Hmm.
I was just talking to my CEO yesterday about it. I was like, it's amazing just over the last like 12 months how much more I've learned about crypto in just that 1 year compared to the first four. And it's
Right.
just, and I still know I'm not an expert and everything. I mean, there's so much more to learn, but um, yeah, crypto just, it excites me. The blockchain technology part of it, as well as just the investing side of it too.
Yeah, I mean it's a future, man. And I always say this that and looking back at history as well, it's like the coins that are successful now are the ones that all they had to do was survive and just kept building during regardless of what market conditions were. And
Yep.
and it's like that's exactly what you guys are doing. Like you guys are doing everything right, and it's just a matter of time, as I said, till the market catches on. Um,
Yep.
I guess what's your when it comes to growing the community, what's your strategy for that right now?
Yeah.
Like
So
what do you guys currently do?
I mean, we've been more of word of mouth has been a big thing because that's how you get the solid foundation. If you just put out a bunch of, you know, if you're just trying to build hype behind it, that's how you'll get the pump, and then people sell
Yeah.
out for the profits. Where we're more focused on, education of what we're doing, trying to get the word out that way. We brought in a few, influencers and people that aren't just coming in to put out some tweets. They're actually, like, we just brought in somebody for a brand ambassador that's really spreading the word. But I have some things that I haven't disclosed yet. We actually had a meeting yesterday with somebody who could really help. They worked with some major companies that are now billion-dollar companies are that we're forming a deal with them to help really market this. Exchange listings are really going to help you get your eyes on that. We've got a ton of money set aside for just advertising and marketing. That again, we're not just wasting it at a bad time. So we'll do advertising on major sites, things like that. But we're doing AMAs with a lot of different communities. We've gotten really close to Nobility Token, their community, Tango Delta 6. They really taken a liking to us. We just got onto Y5 Exchange, which they're a full tokenomics exchange. So it's just building that foundation. We have a small community of tokens. We call it Unified DeFi, and there's about 10 projects that all really started working together to form kind of a partnership and get the word out.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that's awesome.
Actually, I don't know how much you know about Nobility, but Kyle and I. So Kyle's the CEO of Nobility and they had a Noble, which is their esports company. We just talked last week about maybe forming some kind of partnership. They're coming out with sports betting, and we're fantasy sports. It's nice where both our communities already know each other, and we're similar in a way, which is sports, but we're very different in the same regards. We're not competing against each other. So there might be a partnership coming from that too.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and I'm glad that you guys are building this ecosystem, and I think that's what it's all about right now with crypto. I think the projects that build together, grow together, and eventually, you guys succeed together as in that category. But yeah, that's it for my questions. I'm glad we had to. I'm glad we had a little deep dive of kind of your origins, which is very important. Um, and it's very important, like I said, that you're showing your face here. Not many founders do that, especially with like smaller market cap projects, and it takes a lot of courage. And I think I love what you guys are doing. And despite, like I said, despite this market condition, you guys are still building. And I think you guys, as long as you guys keep doing it, you guys are gonna definitely be successful in the future.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you want to leave off before we end this AMA?
I just want to say thanks for having me. Like, I appreciate it. I told you, I've been in the days since 100x coin, and when you guys switched over to ALTBASE, I've been a big fan of yours too. So just want to say thank you for having us on here and letting us share the word of what we're doing. I suggest people check us out. We throw a lot of sneak peeks on our platform that's being developed and see how professional it is, and just the vision behind it. That actually, there is one other thing I want to say that.
Yeah.
What we're doing is anybody that holds over 100 million tokens is going to get a percentage of the platform revenue too. So that was the other thing that's kind of innovative. Is that
There you go.
Yeah, so you're going to get, which we're planning on going to a V2 and doing BUSD rewards instead of our native token rewards for reflections. But the other thing is kind of doing a dual passive income where if you hold a certain amount of tokens with us, not only can you use them, play on our platform, but we're actually going to set up a distribution of platform revenue back to the token holders. So
how much is 100 million tokens worth right now, do you think?
right now, 100 million is just over $1,000.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's crazy because when we first came out with this, we came out with some like buy contests and things like that, and I think 100 million tokens was like $110, and it went up. Obviously, it went up to like I think what was it, 7,000 or 6,000 at one point for 100 million tokens. So obviously with the market dip, but yeah, right now it's a little over $1,000 for 100 million tokens.
So I might have to scoop some up myself. There you go. But no, I'm gonna have to start the video with that, with what you just said. If you hold over 100 million tokens, you're gonna get us revenue share. Yeah, love that. But Dan, thank you very much for being on this AMA, this interview. I look forward to working with you, and as well as, like I really look forward to your platform as well. I'm gonna have to dabble around it once it comes out, because I haven't never done sports betting, but I love to gamble.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing though for people who aren't into fantasy sports stuff, because
Yeah.
we're not sports betting, which was a big thing for us, but it's just really just over under picking and doing tournaments of just testing
Hmm.
your knowledge of, do you think
Right.
this player is going to score over under, these points or rebounds or touchdowns. So it's a perfect way for the inexperienced people or novice who are trying to get into fantasy sports to
Hmm.
really dabble into it with crypto as well if you want to. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are die-hard DFS players that love this style too. So
Love
easy
that.
way to get started if you're inexperienced.
Sounds good. So guys, you'll get all the links to DFS in below in the description. With that said, thank you very much for watching this video. Dan, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Take care.